Hello everyone, it's been a while since I uploaded a video, which I will not be showing my face for this time because I don't want to. Today I'm going to be trying my best to answer the Unanswerable Thomas Questions. You know, both videos were made by Unlucky Tugs, and they're both re-upload. I don't claim ownership of any of the content shown in this video. You know, Thomas, currently belongs to Mattel, as much as I hate to say it. Yeah, and, Tugs, belongs to, I think it was called Clearwater Productions, or whatever the studio was called. Forgive me if I got that wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I did. Anyway, let's just start it.
Guys, Unlucky Tug here, and with me, hey guys, Unlucky Tug here, and with me today is my good friend, Zio93.
What's up, YouTube?
We're here to bring you a very different kind of video today. This is a little something we like to call Unanswerable Thomas Questions.
Dun, dun, dun.
And what exactly is an unanswerable Thomas question, Zio?
Well, my friend, an unanswerable Thomas question are things that no casual fan of the show would actually think about. Some of those in-depth things when you've seen all 19 seasons about 70 times. These questions just come into your brain and start to haunt you and make you stay up all night and you think for hours and hours. Wait a minute. What is this? How has this happened? What is this? I'm confused. So basically, we're going to try to explain that for you.
Sounds like fun.
Sorry, hold on, give me Sorry about that, had to silence my notifications.
Sounds like fun. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright,
Excuse
3,
me.
2, 1, go!
If Thomas was to eat a cheeseburger, what would happen? Would he swallow it and poop out underneath the tracks? Or would it just go into his firebox and burn up?
Now, I don't think, Thomas really could physically eat a cheeseburger, but, even if he could, I imagine it would probably, go into his firebox, so, yeah, you kind of answered your own question on that.
Could Thomas drink water from the water tower through the hose like a straw?
Yes and no. He technically, that's kind of how he uses it, except it doesn't go into he doesn't hold it in his mouth, it's the opening of his water tank through which he drinks water from the hose.
What are the train's faces made of? Is it flesh or is it like a rubbery material? If I cut Thomas's face with a knife, would he bleed?
Okay, first of all, they're not called trains, they're called locomotives or engines. The train is a set of rolling stock being pulled by a locomotive. Very big difference. And no, but onto what the faces are made of, I don't think they're made of flesh. I think they're probably made of the same sort of materials as the rest of their body. Depending on whatever material the vehicle is made of. They just so happen to look like flesh. And no, he would not bleed if you cut his face.
How do their faces get there? Do they just magically appear after the engine is built?
Yes.
Or do the designers of the engine have a face in mind when they draw the blueprints?
How do the engines get their smoke boxes cleaned out? Are their faces on hinges and open up like a door?
Yes. Unlucky Tug kind of already made a video talking about this where it's revealed that in the Railway series, Henry's crew tried to, shut his smoke box door after cleaning his smoke box out, but they couldn't. And they don't show it in the illustrations, but yeah, that means their faces are in fact the doors, so again, you answered your own question.
Why are the faces gray of all colors?
I don't know.
Why do some characters have actual faces while others are meshed into their bodies, like Annie, Clarabelle, and Harold?
I couldn't answer that one. It's just like that.
If Annie and Clarabelle and the slip coach's faces are a part of their bodies, why isn't Henrietta's?
I really don't have an answer for that one. I guess it could depend on the kind of coach she is or something. Although really, I think would have been a better design is if her mouth was right on the door and the two windows on the sides were her eyes, like Disney Pixar's Cars or something.
What's the point of Henrietta's rear platform where her face is now? People can't get into her at that end because her face is just blocking where the door would have been, rendering that platform absolutely pointless.
I think the door on that end still opens and her face just swings with it, kind of like the talking doorknob from Alice in Wonderland or something. That's the best comparison I got.
If Henrietta or any coach were to open their mouth really wide, could a person crawl through their mouth into the coach? If not, how far into the mouth can one reach before they hit the wall?
They would just hit the wall.
Actually, Nick, I'm glad you bring that up, because there's an interesting theory about that.
Oh.
Wait, his
See,
name's
if I
Nick?
were to climb through Annie's mouth, I actually pop out of Clarabelle's mouth.
No.
So just imagine Annie and Clarabelle are side by side.
No.
If I were to crawl through Annie's mouth and go through a good bit, my head and upper torso would be out of Clarabelle's mouth, but my legs and feet would be still dangling out of Annie's.
No.
What's behind the truck's faces beside that flat single layer of wood?
Nothing.
If a truck was loaded with sand or something and they sneezed or coughed, would sand pour out of their mouth?
No, because there is a truck. No, because there's a plank of wood behind their faces.
How does it always work out that the trucks face forward when they're a part of a train? Isn't there any case where they might get turned around in a shunting yard and have to travel backwards?
Well, I mean, in that whole episode of oh god, what was it called? Busy Going Backwards. Like the truck's faces did kind of switch between facing backwards and forwards when they were pushing Toad, but that's just a goof, so that doesn't really matter.
Do the trucks make friends with each other, or do they see it as a pointless effort because they know they'll get split up at the yard at some point and probably never see each other again? You know, that's got to be depressing. It must be hard to be a truck. No wonder they cause so many accidents.
Yeah, I mean, they probably make friends with each other. I mean, if you got time, like, you can't just be sitting around the shunting yard all day and, like, not talk to one another. I mean, that'd just be boring. Come on.
Do the trucks have names? If not, do they give each other names?
Yes, they do. There's Scruffy, Fred Pelhay. I assume I said. Hopefully, I didn't mispronounce that. Old Bennett, and Rickety. Oh, and I forgot Hector the Horrid. But also, take it away, Zio.
Actually, Tug, they do have names.
Oh, really?
Really? And I'm gonna go through that list right now. Brain, Bullstruck, Chester,
So
Chump,
this could be canon.
Crack, Craig, Krusty, Francis, Greg, Muffin, Omar,
Muffin.
Peachy, Pinky, Ralph, Spanky, Tobias, Tomas, Zippy, Stumpy, Randall, Dolan, Doogie, Slappy, and Ivan.
How are some things
That's
on
fake,
Sodor
but I love
alive and some things aren't? Like, why is Cranky alive, but the Big Mickey crane isn't?
Spoiler alert, Big Mickey has a face now.
Bulstrode, Captain, and Skip are the only boats with faces, but there are millions of others that don't. Who decides what comes alive and what doesn't?
I could not answer that one. Also, that boat right next to Henry is Zoran from Tugs.
Where do Skip's wheels go when he's waterbound? Do they just fall off?
What
I guess.
is Sailor John's last name?
Bosky.
That's fake.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
No, he's making that up.
Oh.
What are the Duke and Duchess's names?
Actually, their names are Duke and Duchess, respectively. They were actually dogs, and then the small railway engines from the hills turned them into humans. See, Marion wasn't crazy. They were magic.
That is fake.
Oh.
How do the operations with Spencer on Sodor work? Like, when Duke and Duchess are staying on Sodor, do they have absolute freedom to run Spencer wherever on the line? Or do they have to clear everything with Sir Topham Hatt and the railway heads?
Where does Spencer sleep when he's on Sodor? Is there a shed for him somewhere near the summer house? Or does a steam team member just get kicked out of Tidmouth sheds to accompany him?
He sleeps near the summer house.
If that's the case, why would Spencer stay so far away from the summer house? Isn't the summer house, like, near Wellsworth or something?
What year does the show take place in? Is it modern day, or is it the 1950s?
1950s.
Because no one seems to have a computer, cell phone, especially in the case where they could really use it when they crash.
Is Birdie the only bus on Sodor?
No, there's also Bulgy.
Why do we never see others?
Well, you see, in Thomas Birdie and the Great Race, you obviously didn't see that there were more buses in the yard. So, no, there are more buses on Sodor.
Just stop.
Sorry. Why do Connor and Caitlin have Irish
Oh, and I remember there was also that blue bus in the Railway series, but I forgot his name.
accents if they're American engines?
Because they were built by Irish settlers in America at the time.
Where the flip does Hero live? Sodor? Japan? The mainland?
Who operates
Japan.
Cranky, and how does anyone even get inside of him?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can clearly see there's a ladder, like, right on his neck, I guess, so there must be a door on him somewhere.
What about Marion? She doesn't even have front windows.
And not to mention Kevin, I mean, who's driving him?
Why
Nope.
does Glynn sound
Nobody drives Kevin.
just like Scarlo and Bert likes her handle?
Because Keith Wickham does too many characters and has officially run out of voices. I mean, look at The Adventure Begins. He practically talked to himself the entire time.
Yeah, you pretty much answered your own question.
Well, that answers that.
Okay. Yeah, now for the second one.
What is up, YouTube? I'm back.
Oh, God.
That's right, guys. Zeo9.
Oh, hold on, I gotta... Sorry about that, I had to adjust something real quick. This is my pillowcase.
3 here, and with me today is the unlucky Tug, and today...
No. That's not how this works. I'm not here with you. You're here with me. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Hey, I'm in this just as much as you are. We're code-hosting this.
Yeah, but who's editing the video?
Yeah, well,
Whose channel is it?
Fine, whatever.
That's what I thought. Let's start again. Sup, YouTube? Unlucky Tug here, and Zeo93 is here again with me today. I truly apologize for what just happened. See, I let Zeo out of his cage for this, and he got a little excited.
Wait, what? You did what to
We're
me?
very happy to be back again to present you all with the video you've all been waiting for. Unanswerable
Zeo is not
Thomas
having the cage thing.
Questions.
2.
So if you haven't watched the first episode, you should probably do that. Otherwise, everything in this video will be completely out of context and make no sense.
Well, to be fair, the first one is pretty out of context and makes no sense. So...
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Anyways, let's start this. Would you like to do the honors, Zeo?
I'd be happy to, Tug. On my count. 3, 2, 1. Go, go, Power Rangers!
Yeah, I don't own Power Rangers either, that belongs to Bandai.
I mean, go?
See, this is why I don't let you out of the cage. Are Thomas and Tugs set in the same universe?
Yes, I like to think that Thomas and Tugs do take place in the same universe, because not only is Big Mickey present in both shows, so is SS Vienna, even though Puffa and, Little Owl, the two locomotives and Tugs, don't have faces, but I'm just going to ignore that. Also, I like to pretend that the tramp steamer that they're unloading the fruit from in, I forgot the name of the episode, where, Percy gets into a mess with the fruit. I think that's one. Anyway, I like to pretend that tramp steamer is actually Izzy Gomez, even though he doesn't have a face for some reason, but I don't care.
Why do the drivers wear suits?
Well, I think it's probably a UK thing that, or something, I don't know, probably.
Don't they fear they'll get dirty? Don't they get hot wearing those?
If the engines truly are driven by the people in their cabs, could the engines sleep while moving?
Probably.
Could Thomas just take a nap while in operation?
How does Etienne, how does Etienne have a mustache?
Well, I mean, if they can have eyebrows, they can have mustaches.
So apparently the engines can grow facial hair now. Dang, Thomas must really be set in the same universe as Tugs.
If Gator's real name is Gerald, why does his nameplate say Gator? Someone's in denial.
I couldn't answer that one.
Can the trains breathe underwater? What if Percy slid in just a little further? Or what if Thomas got completely submerged? Would they have drowned?
That
I do
being
not
asked, do the engines breathe at all? Do they have lungs?
No, they don't have lungs.
Would an engine survive if it were somehow placed in an area that lacked oxygen? Could Thomas survive on the moon?
Thomas didn't actually go to the moon in that book.
Oh.
How old is Lady Hat? There is no way she's a grandmother. I mean, look at her. What is she, a grand milfer?
I guess she's like 50 50 or 60 or something, but she just happens to look young, I guess. I don't know.
Never mind that. How old is Dowager Hat? She's a great-grandmother and looks to be, what, 60? Did she have Topham and Loam at a very young age? Like 15?
No, I think she's like 70. She just happens to look like that. Again.
Who were Stephen and Bridget's parents?
I know that Stephen and Bridget's father is Sir Charles Hat, the son of Sir Topham Hat from the Railway series.
Why do they, aka Sir Topham Hatt and Lady Hat's actual children, never appear in big events where the
Yeah, I do not know.
whole family is involved? Are they all above this mumbo-jumbo train-talking stuff?
Why do some rolling stock have faces and some don't?
I think we asked that in the last one.
Yeah, we did, but it really bothers me. How can some trucks have faces and some don't? It doesn't make sense.
If the trucks with faces cause the crashes and thousands of dollars in damage, why doesn't the railway just stop using them and use trucks without faces? They're not going to cause any trouble because they're not alive. Problem solved.
You see, about that is... in the earlier seasons, even the trucks without faces could still talk in the narration, meaning they're still alive, so yeah, I don't think that would change anything, really. Not to mention, there was that episode where Thomas had to carry a load of fish, and, like, at first the trucks didn't have faces, and then all of a sudden they did, so I guess they just pop up randomly, so, again, it wouldn't make a difference either way.
How did Caroline's eyes work? Like, those are her headlights, right? So, do they turn on and her eyes just glow?
Yes, I think you answered your own question.
That's creepy. What a terrible character design.
Speaking of
Yeah, that's probably why Disney Pixar's Cars uses the windshield as the eyes instead.
terrible character designs and terrible characters in general, what's up with Jeremy? Does he seriously not have a cockpit?
Yeah, nah, he has a cockpit. It's just, they can still see through his windshield on the inside. It's eyes outside, windows inside.
So how does his pilot see? Or does he even have a pilot? Who would feel safe riding in him?
Who installed Pinchy onto Diesel 10?
PT Boomer.
Like, what nutjob thought putting a giant mechanical claw on top of a diesel train was an idea worth investing in?
It was probably meant for, excavating, rocks and picking up, branches and stuff.
Sir Topham Hatt reprimands Diesel 10. What's stopping Diesel 10 from just grabbing Topham and throwing him across the room into a brick wall?
Too many witnesses.
Does Diesel 10 have a driver? If he does, then is it the driver that's operating the claw, not him?
No. I mean, yes. I don't know.
Same question, but about the pack. Do the characters themselves operate their arms, or are there people inside of them? I mean, they have operators and banksmen. Is their job just to stand around and supervise the machines operating themselves at the site?
Yes, like Bob the Builder.
What a bizarre job that is.
Sounds pretty boring, to be honest. Do the engines ever get flies splattered on their faces when they're traveling at super high speeds? Do they ever get them in their eyes? Would it benefit them to wear goggles?
Yes.
Thomas seems to become infatuated when he first sees Ashima. Can the engines have intimate feelings towards each other?
Yes.
Can we please keep the lovey-dovey fanfiction crap out of Thomas the Tank Engine, please?
Hey, come on. If robots can fall in love, so can engines.
I was just asking.
How do the characters that speak through megaphones work? Like, does the voice that comes out of Big Mickey belong to the crane itself? Or from his operator? Or does he even have an operator?
No. Yeah, the voice belongs to Big Mickey himself. And no, Big Mickey doesn't have an operator because nobody tells Big Mickey what to do. Like Zoran said in the episode Munitions.
That's not a Thomas question. That's a Tugs question. You can't ask that here.
Oh, come on. Everyone's wondered it.
Yeah, but...
You know what? Screw it. I don't care if this is unanswerable Thomas questions. We're going to ask some Tugs questions now, K? K.
This is what happens when we let the power of running a YouTube channel gets to your
I
head.
said K.
Good day, sir!
Why do some of the Tugs have doors to their heads?
Well, because they're tugboats and, that the cabin is literally their heads. So, yeah, they have doors.
Who is going in there? Can a person even see out? Are the eyes like one-way mirrors or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that, because, their eyes seem to be exactly or exactly where the windows would be.
How do the tugs attach themselves to barges in the dock without the aid of people? Do their ropes just launch themselves and they hope it sticks to whatever they're throwing it at?
Either they do have people on board, but they're just unseen and they like throw the ropes, or maybe like they just launch the ropes and hope they stick to whatever they're throwing it at, like you said.
Why do the Tugs have British accents if the show takes place in America?
Because the show was made in the UK, that's why.
How did Sea Rogue lose an eye? There must be a really tragic backstory there.
Well, he does have the munitions company logo on his stack. There obviously was a terrible accident where Sea Rogue's family got blown up in a munitions fire, and whilst trying to save them, he lost his eye. And with his family gone, his uncle took him in and raised him.
Huh, that's actually a really good fan theory. Kudos.
Thanks. Why do the Tugs have lifeboats if there's no one in them?
The Tugs offer to tow Izzy for money, but how does Izzy pay for them? Does he have a giant wallet stowed in his head or something?
Izzy's crew climbs down and pays the crew of whoever is offering the tow. That's the best answer I got.
So does Grampus's face wrap around his entire front? Like, under his chin below the water is the whole front of the submarine flesh? Or does the face end just below the surface?
It ends just below the surface.
Where's Lord Stinker's mouth? Is the mouth the hull? Is the garbage in his mouth? Oh, Lord.
Ew.
How? Just how do the Tugs have hair? Where does it grow from? Do they have to wash it? Do they ever need to get haircuts? Do they get lice?
Okay, we're entering very weird territory now. Can we please get back to Thomas? You know, what everybody clicked on the video for?
Facebook.
All right.
How much of an engine has to be removed before it's considered dead?
It has to be completely taken apart, via being scrapped. Or it has to be broken beyond repair or something.
He was literally in pieces, but was still alive. Can they only die if the face is destroyed? That sounds like a horror movie kind of thing.
Right?
Counter argument, Scruffy is a truck, not an engine. Again, there's a very big difference.
So, if an engine smoke box, aka the black part where the face is attached, needs to be replaced, how do they remove it without detaching the face? Or is the face removable?
If the engine's faces are removable, is the engine still operable
Okay, yes, and yes.
without the face?
If the face is removed from the engine, can it still talk?
Yes.
If you snapped James's whistle off, would it be like you breaking his penis?
No.
Wait, what?
Tug, who is this guy?
He's nobody. Don't worry about him. Hey, get out of here, Vinny.
But I have more questions to ask.
Go away. No one likes you.
But I
Get out of here.
Why are you doing New York accents?
Sorry about that. I have no idea how we got in here.
Yeah, well, anyways, what's Stepney's situation? Does he work on Sodor or the Bluebell Railway in England? Is he somehow owned by Sir Topamat or an entirely different controller?
He lives on the Bluebell Railway in England.
Can engines get black eyes? Or nosebleeds? I guess not, since they don't have blood. Or do they?
Who applies Daisy's makeup? Does it have to be washed off and reapplied when it rains?
Now, who made Whiff's glasses?
It's probably applied by her fitter.
And why does he need them? Did the manufacturer who made his eyes mess up and then they had to correct it?
What?
Who knows?
Now who's this guy?
Maybe Whiff's glasses are just cosmetic or something. Because, they don't even have lenses. At least not in the model series.
It's Wooden Railway Reviews, but I don't know how he got it.
Would ice have helped the swelling of James's bee sting?
I guess.
Huh?
Wait, Enterprising 2? What is happening?
Do engines need to breathe? Most
No.
of them don't have nostrils except for Toby for some strange reason, and his don't even go all the way into his face.
What?
I think they do technically breathe, but it's only to keep themselves from overheating.
Where are you people coming from?
How did the coaches speak in the earlier seasons? They don't have faces, so where are the voices coming out
Wait,
of?
Yeah, I can't answer that one.
wait, what?
Why doesn't City of Truro have a face?
Huh?
And how does he talk without it?
No, stop.
Because reasons.
Why aren't Thomas and Percy scared when they visit the scrapyard and Thomas, Percy, and old slow coach?
Because they know they're not the ones getting scrapped.
Oh.
When people climb aboard Daisy,
Does she feel them inside of her?
Yes.
Does an engine not having paint equal to it being naked?
What?
No, an engine not having paint does not mean it's make it naked, because it can't be naked.
Why does Toby still sleep in the same shed he slept in on his old railway?
He likes it.
How is it possible for humans to lever Duncan onto the rails in rock and roll?
Well, because he's a smaller gauge engine, so he's lighter, and there are a bunch of more people. So, yeah.
What is the average cost per accident on Sodor?
Who in the
A lot of money.
right mind would put a set of buffers right in front of a barber shop?
Okay, one, that's a stop sign and not a set of buffers, and I don't think the tracks did lead to the barber shop in the original Railway series. I think, like, Duck accidentally, like, flew off the tracks or something.
Doesn't engines fire going out result in the engine feeling tired?
Yes.
If an engine loses its buffer, is it like losing a hand?
Sort of.
How do the engines feel pain?
Well, because they are alive, and so they can feel pain.
Like in Blue Mountain Mystery, Paxton gets hit by rocks and says, "Ow." Are they sensitive to touch, too? If I put my hand on Thomas's buffer, would he feel that? Ew, that's gross.
Yeah, like I said, it's because, like, they're alive. That means they can feel stuff. Yes, Thomas would feel your hand.
Tender engines can feel their tender, so if it's removed, do they still feel it?
No, I don't think they feel it once it's removed.
Does it hurt?
How do Connor and Caitlin's crews get inside their cabs when their doors and windows are clearly painted on?
That is a terrible character design, so I'm just gonna pretend that those are actually doors and windows.
Does Farm McCall have a wife or kids, or is he forever alone?
I don't know.
Why do none of Mr. Percival's children look nothing like him or his wife? Are they all adopted?
How can the
Yes.
Coldy Fell engines have a face at each end? Are
I don't know.
they constant
I think, like, they need to, like, be able to see all around them, but then again, none of the other engines are like that.
looking in two directions?
No, it just depends on what face they're using. When, they close the eyes on one face and they open the eyes on the other.
Can the Coldy Fell engine speak from both faces at once, or is it more like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas and how he changes between faces when he speaks?
I think it's more like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas and how he changes faces, like you said.
Since the Coldy Fell engines have a face at their back end that they talk out of, does that mean they're literally speaking out of their ass?
Technically, yes. Also, excuse me.
Talk out of. Does that mean they're literally speaking out of their ass?
Why does Trevor like children so much?
Because he's a nice guy, I guess.
Why do engines like Duck, Ryan, and Arthur still have the initials of their previous railway painted on them? Shouldn't they have been replaced with NWR by now?
It's a memo to their it's a memento to their old railway.
Does the magic railroad still exist?
Yes.
Does anyone actually use it still?
Maybe.
Is the island of Sodor really toy-sized in Thomas and the Magic Railroad? Does Mr. Conductor become normal-sized when he travels there? Or does he fit in scale with everything?
No, the island of Sodor is not toy-sized. Mr. Conductor just changes sizes when he travels there. Because if the island of Sodor was toy-sized, then Lily and Burnett Stone would be giant in comparison to everything else when they traveled there, and Thomas would have been tiny when he came to the real world. Unless it also alters the sizes of anyone. Unless the Magic Railroad also alters the sizes of anyone who travels to and from there or something. But no, I don't think the island of Sodor is toy-sized. It's just done with live-action models, but meant to represent a real railway.
How on earth did Cranky get to Brenham Docks? Was he built there from the ground up?
Yes.
That cruise ship had a back called Brenham.
SS Rockstar? Yes, she probably does.
Ever go anywhere?
How do the engines blush? Their faces turn red, which indicates blood rushing to the face. Does this mean they have blood?
No, they don't have blood. I think it's the heat from the boilers that make their faces turn red. And for the diesels, it's probably like electrical wires or something.
In the Railway series story, Sir Handel derails himself by pushing the rails apart with his wheels. If he can hyperextend his wheels to do this, then what else can engines hyperextend?
Actually, no, Sir Handel did not hyperextend his wheels. It was because his wheel configuration was slightly too wide for the rails, which is what made them be pushed apart with his wheels. It's based on an accident that happened with Sir Hindon, the basis for Sir Handel, had on the Taliclin Railway. So no, he is not hyperextending his wheels. They can only do that in All Engines Go, but but that's a terrible reboot, and I will just ignore it.
How was this even possible?
Do the engines hum their own themes to themselves? Are they even aware that they have themes?
Yes.
Can an engine have mental problems?
If you count the logging locos, yes.
Who manufactured?
Oh wait, and there's also Theo, who I think is the canonically first autistic engine in the series, though I wouldn't really call it a problem.
Manufactures the hats for the Tugs? Like, seriously, do they get to choose what kind of hat they wear? And does it affect their personality? Like, would Top Hat act more like working class if you wore a cloth cap? And would Big Mac act more bourgeoisie if you wore a top hat?
No, I don't think their hats affect their personalities at all. I think they're like just parts of their heads that like look like a hat or something.
How was the Misty Island Railway built? The three brain-dead American outcasts explain that they caused trouble on the mainland and were banished into the forested wasteland we all know and loathe. It's established that there are no forms of standard 20th century society on the island, just the logging locos, which honestly is another question all on its own. The engines are given Sudrine drivers later on, but it's clear that nobody's actually ever lived there. So how was the railway built? Did the mainland pay to construct this unnecessarily large railway prison on an unknown island, just to contain these three terroristic engines who enjoy the pain of others by hurtling construction equipment at unsuspecting victims? They probably had to cut down an immeasurable amount of trees, disturb the tribes of peaceful natives, and ship tons of supplies to an unmapped location shrouded in mist. Why would they feel the need to...
Hey, Tug?
Yeah?
I think I know how all these strangers are getting...
Yeah, I think the Misty Island Railway was built first, and then, at one point they just stopped using it, and then the logging locos, caused trouble on the mainland, and then were banished there.
in.
Yeah?
You know the door in the back?
Yeah? Oh, no. Don't tell me you...
Yeah, I think I may have forgotten to lock it.
Of course you did. You see, Zio, this is why I keep you in the cage.
What cage? What is this cage you keep... You know what? Forget about it. I'm gonna go deal with these intruders. It's morphin' time.
I think this is probably a good time to end this. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. Yep, and that happened. And with that being said, I am signing out now. Let me know what you think of how to answer the questions in the comment section below. And if you have any other questions of your own. Bye.